Welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lindsay Brantley, the founder of Camellia Alise and the Camellia Alise Academy, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. So, first and foremost, for those of you guys who are new to Wine and Wellness, I'm normally here about every Wednesday night between 6 and 7 ish. But for those of you guys that know, I hope you all do as business owners, you should know that this is the networking season. I have literally been invited to parties with the city, with banks, with equities, with private businesses. Everybody wants to celebrate with you. So tonight I have yet another event. So I was like, let me go live and talk about these things first. So I'm a little bit early, y'all, but bear with me. So we're gonna get through some amazing tips for wealth building, y'all. It's not just about, oh, let's make some money. This is about wealth building for 2024. But before we do, now I got a small glass. First of all, it's early and I'm about to go network with a whole bunch of people. So I got a very small glass to toast y'all with. I hope you have yours. Toast for making it through hump day. Ooh, that's good. Okay. All right, you guys. So before I get into today's topic, like I said, today's topic is going to be on wealth building, and I'm going to give you guys some very key points to toast. I see some of y'all toasting. Some very important key points to planning out 2024 and truly making money. But before I do, I just want you guys to know I announced it this morning. For those of you who are not in our private or public Facebook group, on Facebook, it's called Body Sculpting Professionals. I am now starting a new series. I will be going live every Wednesday morning in the Facebook group only, not on Instagram, not YouTube, only there. It's 100% free, and it's called the Wealth Wednesday series. I will still be doing wine and wellness on Wednesday evenings, but I'm going to be talking nothing but money and wealth building for the rest of the year. For the rest of 2024. I started today, you guys, by breaking down what a $100,000 year realistically looks like. Okay, so I'm not going to break all those numbers down now. Y'all can feel free to go in there and look at it anytime you want. But what I show is, yes, it's easy to say, oh, $100,000 is $8,000 a month. But realistically, are you going to be working every single day? Are you going to be working every single month? Do you know how much you should be charging? So I went through a couple different scenarios in the group. So y'all be sure to check that out. Like I said, it's 100% free once you join the group, and the group doesn't cost anything either. Hey, you guys that are saying hi. But it's just, in order to start off a year, like if it's going to be your 6 or 7 figure year, you need to know what the numbers have to look like, right? Like what kind of targets do I have to hit? So that was the first video that I did, and I won't be doing the next Wealth Wednesday until the first Wednesday in January. But go ahead and check that one out on our Facebook group. The link is in our bio in Instagram and our bio for YouTube, so y'all can just click on that Facebook group. 2 other announcements that I have for you guys before I get into the points. Oh, well, that was one. One of them is now starting the new series, Wealth Wednesdays, between 10 and 11 a.m. every Wednesday in our Facebook group. The second one is SAP, our Sculpting Aesthetics Practitioner Program, copyrighted program, trademark program that is absolutely amazing. We've had our first set of graduates. It takes you a minimum of 3 months to complete the program, but you have 9 months to complete it. That program, you guys, is accompanied by a free 2-day webinar that I do for you guys where I talk about different techniques, questions you guys need to know for body sculpting so that you can understand what some of the topics are going to be in the SAP program. Our next free webinar, like I said, it's mostly technique based, so I'll be doing 2 days where I talk about techniques and business. That is going to be January 27th and 28th. If you are already on our mailing list, you got your first email talking about it a couple days ago. If you're not, DM us so we make sure that we send y'all out like all the free webinar stuff, okay? So those are my updates. Let's get into y'all's 2024 wealth building season, okay? So I have 7 tips that you need to know in order to build wealth in 2024 and exceed the goals that you had this year, okay? So the first thing, this does not matter if you are a solo entrepreneur or if you got a team of 10 like I do or a team of 20 like some people do. It does not matter. You need to have an annual staff meeting. Now, some of y'all are probably like, what the hell am I have an annual staff meeting by myself? If you are by yourself, you still need to have an annual staff meeting. You need to do it outside of your workplace. You need to take 1 day, maybe 2 days. I actually took 2 days and I took my leadership team. Now, it's not everybody, right? But my leadership team, I took them to Austin, Texas. We did 2 days where we just sat down. We went over historical data, right? Because if you have been in business the past 2 or 3 years and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna make 7 figures this year. Okay, well, if you're gonna make 7 figures this year, what does that look like? What did you make this year? You need to know what months you do the best in, what months you do the worst in. In order to create realistic goals, if you have historical data, you need to go over it. If you are not a solopreneur, if you do have staff, and I don't care if it's 1 staff member or 2 or 100, you need to have some kind of meeting to make sure that y'all are sharing the same vision and you're on the same page. If I tell my staff, we're going to serve 1,000 clients this year, and they're looking at me like, but we only had 2 this year, I'm out of here. That's not the right person, or whatever. That's not realistic, but I'm just saying, you need to explain to your staff what it is you're trying to achieve, what incentives you're giving them, because I'm big on, if my business is producing $1 million, ain't none of y'all gonna worry about having to pay rent, right? There should be incentives tied to the financial goals. So I just share all of that with my staff so that I make sure that we're on the same page, okay? Because if you trying to travel to the east and I'm trying to travel to the west, we gonna be in different places and you're not gonna be serving my clients the way that they need to be served, right? So every staff member is assigned goals. I explain the vision. I go over historical data, lessons learned, what happened this year that y'all are like, oh my God, we had that one beauty brunch and it was themed, I don't know, Nightmare After Christmas, and it was the worst party we ever had. Can we please not ever do that again, right? But if you never sit down with your staff, you miss out on the opportunity to understand what goals they have, what struggles they may have had, and how they can positively contribute to your business. Every time I have a staff meeting and I let people bring things to the table, they bring great ideas where I'm like, oh, we can incorporate that. So that's the first one. The first one, you guys, you have to have an annual staff meeting. You have to. And like I say, even if you're by yourself, if it's just you, when are you taking time away from being in your business to sit down and come up with the things that you need to know, okay? I got one question here and then I'm gonna continue going. Hi, I contacted you regarding the lemon bottle treatment. Are you offering classes? Yes, we offer the classes. We are now officially a Lemon Bottle Academy, and that comes along with a lot of stuff, y'all. Lemon Bottle is a great company to align with. We do offer the classes. They will officially premiere, I believe, February 1st, because we're finishing up the curriculums, because Lemon Bottle is a little different from Camellia and some of the others. But if you're interested in a Lemon Bottle class, please feel free to DM us and we will make sure that we get you the dates for Lemon Bottle, okay? All right, so the next thing, first thing is your annual staff meeting. The next thing is gonna be, this one's a big one, y'all. Make time to make money, okay? And when I say that, I am so blessed. I started off this whole thing, y'all, with the song, When You've Been Blessed, Pass It On. Part of the reason I'm talking about wealth, I secured over $210,000 in funding this year. Every year, I am securing probably between $50,000 and $100,000 in grants that I don't have to pay back. Free laptops, free computers, free mentoring sessions, free grants. And I readily share that with my students. But the question is, how many of you guys are actually taking time? I call it Money Mondays. How many of you guys are taking time to actually make money and grow your business? How many of y'all are applying for the free grants that are out here? How many of you guys even take the time to reconcile your balance sheet and your profit and loss? And if you don't know what those are, you're not a serious business owner and you need to get some guidance or you need to get an accountant. Because if you do not know if your business is profitable or not, if you don't know how to calculate that, if you don't know how to even look at it, you're not going to be able to get grants because they're always going to ask you, okay, were you profitable? How much money did you make? What are you trying to do with the grant money? Okay, it's not hard to get grants. How many of y'all want $200,000 in free money this year, next year, every year? It's out there. But you have to take the time. I literally take Money Monday. On my Mondays, I take 3 hours every week and I sit down and I go over either my balance sheet, reconciling transactions, budget, or I find grants and I apply for them every week. So that is how I keep bringing money into the business that I don't have to pay for. Okay, and to me, yeah, I may get a $10,000 grant and be like, okay, that's not gonna go as far as it might for the next person, but I've built up. I've gotten 10,000 here, I've gotten 5,000 there, I've got 100,000 here, 60,000 there. There's so many different ways to get free money, but if you're not making time to do the research and to make sure that your financial books are in order, so when those opportunities come, you can apply, you're not gonna keep making money. Okay, so make sure that you guys are looking at your financials and making time to make money. Make time to apply for grants. Make time to balance your books, or at least get somebody who can help you balance your books. But you can have the best accountant in the world, you still got to be able to understand the numbers. How you gonna know if they're stealing from you if you don't know anything, right? Okay, so that's number two. Number two is making time to make money. Number three, you guys. Number three, and this one is a big one. Y'all have got to start doing this. Plan for the hiccups and life events. Okay? Life be lifing. Okay? It's not going to stop. This year, I lost another matriarch of my family, and the song I played was actually her favorite. That was my grandma. I'm trying my best not to get emotional in this Christmas season. But I lost my grandma. Guess what? My clients, although they will maybe say, we're so sorry for your loss, they still really don't care. They want their massage, they want their facial. So I had to make sure that I had staff that could continue moving forward when I couldn't, or I had to have a plan of action if I couldn't be at a meeting and somebody needed to be there. Sometimes it might be your sister, like, look at here. I know that you don't know very much about my business, but I need you to stand in this meeting for me because I've got to take a break. You know, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. There are going to be times in life when you cannot perform to 100% of your ability. It could be something as simple as you break your toe, okay? But if you are a solopreneur, that means you have no money coming in. What is your backup plan? When I go over the $100,000 a year in that private group, I specifically said in that group, do not plan for a 12-month, every month I'm gonna make $8,000, because guess what? Every month clients ain't gonna come rolling in the same like they are in January. Everybody wants sculpting and to lose weight in January. They're not gonna come to you in November the same, because guess what? They have turkey dinners, they're gaining weight, they're not worried so much, right? So you have to plan for life's hiccups, whether it be a personal event, whether it be a business event. Life is going to life. What kind of backup plan do you have? And the other thing that's super important, you guys, that enough of us do not do, why do y'all not have some kind of either a contingency fund or some kind of other income tucked away? Because guess what? You might be making 10, 11, 12, 13,000 a month, but guess what? It's going to be 1 month you might not make anything. Do you have the money to pay your rent that month when nothing comes in? Right? That's how a lot of people go out of business, because they don't have any kind of emergency fund, any kind of, contingency fund or plan or something. You've got to plan for life's hiccups because they will be there. Okay? So that's number three. Number four, set realistic goals. Just like I said, I can't, have gotten 2 clients last month and then go to my staff and be like, all right, we're going to have 300 clients every month in 2024. That's not realistic, okay? Even if something crazy happens, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Keith Lee, but there's a small business in Pearland that she was saying she was getting like 2 clients a week next to nothing in her dessert shop. She asked him to come. He surprised her. The next day, there were lines wrapped around, and to the point where a week later, she had to take a day or two off because she didn't have enough staff to like make all the desserts, right? So that would be amazing if that happened. But even if those kind of things do happen to you, there might still be a time that you have to ramp up. You know, you have to do advertisement. Or you might be riding high and then all of a sudden it tapers down. You've got to plan, you guys, and set realistic goals. If you set these crazy, outlandish goals, you're going to be beating yourself up because you didn't meet the goal. Okay? So set a realistic goal for yourself. And it's amazing when I exceed my goals, right? It's like, oh, I just wanted to get 5 people in today and I got 8. Amazing. But it's different when you say, I gotta have 30 people a day, and you're regularly getting 2, and every day you're beating yourself up because you're like, I'm 28 behind, I'm 28 behind. No, you were at 2 people at first. It's not realistic. So set realistic goals. Okay, the 5th one that I have for you guys, and this one is big. Pick 2 to 3. 2, you see my fingers? 2 to 3 money-making services that you are going to push and push and push some more in 2024. Y'all have to stop having 500 things on the menu and expecting that all 500 are going to make you money all the time. What is really selling? What have you really sold this year, right? What if everybody comes in my office and they're like, I want a massage, I want a massage, I want a massage, I want a massage. Then I'm not going to be like, no massages this year. We're only doing facials next year, right? It doesn't make sense. But do you guys even know which services are making most of your money? There's normally 2 or 3 services that bring in 80% of the revenue if you have 20 on the service chart and only a few of them are actually making you money. Get rid of some of the other ones. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Buff City Soap. But I literally took our staff for our staff Christmas party yesterday. We went to Buff City Soap and we went to a really nice dinner. There's a product there that I love. And they were like, we don't have those anymore. I said, what? They were like, yeah, they weren't selling as fast as, we thought they would. So they went ahead and took them off the menu. And they also had 3 different party options. Now we only have 1 because we're going to be adding new products. And only certain things were selling, so there was no point in having those things on the menu. We sell 1 where I'm selling 100 of the other thing. So what are the things that are actually selling for you? Those are the things you need to be pushing. Now, it's okay to maybe bring in 1 or 2 new things, but I don't know how many of you guys have been to the Cheesecake Factory. Most of us get so frustrated flipping through the book and flipping through the book and flipping through the book some more to the point where certain people are like, I don't want to eat there. It's too much crap on their menu. You don't want to be that spot or that person where they're like, I don't even want to go there. I don't know what she's going to do to me. It's too many different things. I can go to her Instagram and every post is a different service. I don't even know what they do there. Don't be that person. Pick 2 or 3 money-making services that are going to work well for you. And those are going to be the ones you're going to advertise, push, and lean into throughout the year. Okay? I have 2 more. And then I'm done. Okay, the next one is plan for the goal. Okay, we always sit there and say, okay, I'm gonna do this, but what's the plan to make it happen? For instance, everybody wants to say, I'm gonna make $1 million this year, but how are you actually gonna do that? Do you actually have a plan for how you're gonna make $1 million, or are you just gonna say it out loud all day every year? That's just like the person that sets a New Year's resolution. Every year I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. Okay, but do you actually have a plan for that? Do you have a plan for how you're going to achieve what you are saying? If you don't have a plan, I guarantee you, you're not going to meet your goal. Because you can't just say it all day long. You actually have to have a way to do it. Okay? Then the last one that I wanted to go over, excuse me, and this is actually the most important one when it comes to wealth building. Like I said, it's not about making money. It's about actually building wealth for yourself, your business, and your staff, future and current, right? You have to set SMART goals. So how many of you guys right now, I got quite a few of y'all on here, how many of you guys have ever heard of or know what a SMART goal is? If you know what a SMART goal is, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up, give me a something. Anybody? Anybody? I don't see nobody. Okay, well that's all right. So let me go over it, and then I actually pulled up some examples for you guys because I figured you wouldn't. A lot of people don't. So SMART goals, SMART, stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, so I'm gonna go over those again. A SMART goal, it stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, so that means you actually have to have a specific plan. Like, I can't just say, oh, I'm gonna make $1 million selling flowers this year. Okay, that's not a SMART goal. And I actually have some examples of that exact same thing if it was turned into a SMART goal. Okay, so a SMART goal for a business, like I'm gonna make $100,000 this year selling flowers, right? So a specific SMART goal would be, I'm going to launch my business selling flowers. I'm going to spend at least 2 hours daily planning and marketing it. I'm going to use my homegrown vegetables that I already have and my reputation to get the business off the ground. Relevant is, I love growing the plants. That's why, I'm getting into this business. And time bound is, I'm going to make my first $10,000 in 6 months. So basically, you have a goal, but it's not just, I'm going to sell flowers. It's, I'm going to sell this amount of flowers. I'm going to do it in this amount of time. Attainable means it's realistic. I'm going to use current things that I already have to get my business off the ground. Relevant is, why is it relevant to you? And then time bound, it actually has to have a time attached to it. So if I tell you that I'm going to launch a snow cone business and make $1 million in the first 3 months, that's not really an attainable goal. So it's like, is that attainable? No. Is it specific? I mean, you're saying you're going to make 7 figures selling snow cones. It's specific, but is it specific enough? Like, you actually need to say how it's going to happen. How are you going to measure that? Is it only by money, or you're going to sell so many units of it? So that's what a SMART goal is, okay? So I also have a SMART goal example that I wanted to share with y'all for increasing sales, okay? So specific. I'm going to learn new sales techniques to improve my work performance. Measurable. My goal is to double my sales from their current rate. I'll keep a log of the current sales that directly compares to the sales I'm building so that I know whether I'm on track. Okay, so measuring the sales past and present. Attainable. I've been a sales associate for 2 years. I know the basics, so I'm ready to learn more. If you've actually had a sales background, I'm sure you can increase your sales if you're tracking it, right? Relevant. I want to feel more confident at my job and learn new skills. This will put me in a better position for a promotion. So me increasing my sales skill is very relevant to me, my future, and what I'm trying to do. And then time bound. Tomorrow, I'm going to start doing a LinkedIn webinar course on sales tactics, implement it on Monday, and I have 4 months to increase the sales results. Okay, so I'm being specific with what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, how I'm going to track it. Is it attainable or realistic for me? Is it relevant to what I'm trying to do? And is it time bound? I'm not going to start saying today to you guys that I'm going to start doing purple hair sew-ins tomorrow, right? That's not really relevant to my experience. It's not really relevant to what I'm doing. And I also can't say I'm going to start doing purple hair sew-ins and make $250,000 in the next 3 months. So that's not really attainable. I didn't say how I was going to measure it. It doesn't make any sense, right? So a SMART goal, you can't just say, oh, I'm going to make $1 million next year. I'm going to make $1 million next year by increasing my sales in 3 body sculpting services. I'm going to measure it by tracking sales from last year and this year, or I'm going to measure it by my return on investment. I'm going to spend $100 on Google Ads and track to make sure that I'm at least making $200 in bookings, right? It's attainable because I have already been doing the services for 2 years and my techniques or whatever, I already have clients. It's relevant because it's relevant to the industry I'm already working in, and I'm going to say I'm going to meet that goal by a certain time frame. Okay, so that is what a SMART goal is. So a SMART goal, once again, you guys, stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, so it can't just be a forever goal. It needs to make sense. Okay, so once again, just to recap for you guys, for building 2024 wealth, some things that you need to do in order to start reaching goals, setting the goals, and actually making long-term wealth, not just short-term. The 7 things I have are: 1, have your annual staff meeting, even if it's just with yourself, to make sure you go over historical data and that you are on the same page with your vision. 2, make time to make money. Make time to balance your sheets, make time to apply for goals, resources, things that will help build your businesses from now until way in the future. 3, plan for hiccups and life events, because life is going to life. What is your contingency plan, and how much wiggle room do you have if you don't meet your goals? Are you still going to be able to pay your rent at your studio? Okay. 4 is set realistic goals. Okay, so at the end of the day, when you're trying to set goals, are they smart and are they realistic? Okay. Number 5 is pick 2 to 3 money-making services to push that year. Pick 2 or 3 services. Don't sit there and try to push 110 different things on the menu. Okay. Number 6 is plan for the goal. It's not enough to just set a goal and be like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. But how? But when? But why are you trying to do that, right? So plan for the goal. And then the very last one, number 7, is set SMART goals. Be specific, make sure you measure them. They should be relevant to you, attainable, and there should be a timeline associated with each of those goals that you set. All right? So once again, you're talking to somebody that has secured a great amount of money pretty much every year since the first year that I launched. When I launched my business, it was because I won a $10,000 grant competition, a business plan competition. That was the first way I secured funding so that I could actually have money for research. There's lots of money out there. Every year, there are more small business incentives, small business equity funds, small business this and that. But are you taking time to actually find those things? All right? So, you guys, just because this is the Christmas season, it is my first Christmas season without my grandma. It is a lot. There's a lot going on for me. This will be my last Wine and Wellness Wednesday of 2023. I will be back to join you guys first week of January. That is when we're going to start the Wealth Wednesday series on our private Facebook group. Anybody can join, right? But you just have to hit the button. So that is the first week that we will do Wine and Wellness as well. So I will be back the first week of January. You guys have an absolutely amazing holiday season. I wish you guys booked and busy seasons like we are. It is a blessing, and I'm wishing that for each and every one of your businesses. My team and I are still here. We are still available via DM if you guys need anything. I just will not be going live the next couple weeks. I need a little bit of time to process and get through this holiday season, okay? So I love you guys so much. God bless each and every one of y'all. I hope that y'all have an amazing season, and I will see you guys in the new year. So happy holidays from me and the Camellia Alise team, you guys. And please implement some of these things so that you guys can start building long-term wealth, not just short-term, let me make some money. So, bye, you guys. Y'all have an amazing evening. And this is When You Get Blessed by Patti LaBelle.